The Italian Renaissance diplomat and author Niccolo Machiavelli believed in the priority of what must be done over what we wish to have been done. His practical advice would be that exposure to blame and accusation is part of one's journey of being seen and of acting. There will always be actions that appear morally wrong yet secure safety and welfare. Conversely, there are apparent virtues that bring ruin. For an ordinary person, this becomes a set of practical judgments about ends and means. When our refusal to act from the fear of being blamed for outcomes that we did not intend leaves other people worse off, then the avoidance of blame itself is a moral failure. Two significant lessons emerge in this context. The first is about the authorship of actions. Machiavelli insisted that public figures must shape appearances because appearance governs consequences. If a common person is blamed for what she has not done, she should ask whether her manner or her predictable responses allowed misunderstanding to flourish. According to Machiavelli, the show of transparency is perhaps of even greater value than the act of being transparent. The second lesson is about the moral economy of blame. Machiavelli distinguished between faults that removed a ruler from power and those that merely provoked scorn. Some blame, howsoever unfair, is barely even consequential. Others will cost someone the means of doing good. One should not treat every tirade as an existential threat, according to Machiavelli. One must instead reserve energetic defense for charges that threaten one's capacity to act. In the face of slander, let consistency of conduct and the slow work of reputation do their work. Machiavelli believed that the public often forgets noise and steady usefulness endures. There's a third paradoxical point, Machiavelli implied. Blame can very well be a currency. When it comes without consequence, it may confirm in the eyes of others that the one blamed may have done something significant enough to attract attention. Machiavelli would say that we must not convert being blamed into a perverse badge of virtue. But we must recognize that unjust condemnation sometimes advertises engagement rather than cowardice. Being Machiavellian in this context is far from being cunning or deceitful. Instead, simply keeping a modest public ledger of your decisions and reasons can go a long way. When you must act against a tide of opinion, explain plainly the purpose and the desired outcome of your actions. If the charge is trivial, do not inflame it. If it threatens your agency, answer directly and with evidence. If you insist on being exalted as pure in a world that is emphatically not pure, you may lose the capacity to care for those you are responsible for. The refusal to accept dirty hands as sometimes necessary is a luxury of those who do not bear the burden of consequences. For the common person, this means staying alert to obligations beyond self-regard. Reputation surely matters, but service matters even more.